Ow!
It starts again, like I've never been away.
Off I go.
Feel it rising like the fire. Feel it running through my veins. Oh, it starts again, like I've never left this place. Like my prodigal return to an old familiar place.
Oh, I love mornings like this. The sight, the weather, the solitude. Like there's no one around. There's a group down there actually that came through around the same time we did last night, and they've been very quiet. So obviously they're enjoying the park too, and they know what they're doing. So they get it. We get it. We're all happy here. We're having a good time. I love this place. I come here and I feel like I'm being treated right by something or someone. Maybe some deity, I don't know, but this is the place to be if you want to de-stress, relax, become one with nature. It's awesome. Oh. What a beautiful morning. Oh, I had such a fantastic sleep last night too. Oh, unbelievable. There it is. Popped granola with quinoa. Mixed berries. So yeah, let's do this. We'll just have this, another cup of coffee, pack up and get out of here. And see what Birchcliffe Creek does to us. So yeah, we skipped in favor of making an elaborate breakfast just to have some granola, and now we're packing up to get out of here. I want to be on the water before 10. It's pretty late by my standards, but you know, with the camera crew and stuff. They got work to do, so We don't know what's ahead of us today. That's why we want to get out early. I don't know what we could be facing, like low water, fast water, a lot of alders, moose, people, politicians, marketing executives. We don't know what's going to jump out at us. So we just want to get out of here so we get a lot of time to tackle the creek and get to the cabin before we lose any light. Hopefully with luck we'll get there maybe around 1, 2 in the afternoon. That would be nice. That would be ideal. It's only about 5 kilometers today, but it could be 5 kilometers of hell, so. So we're leaving our campsite on Bigger Lake. Beautiful campsite, it treated us well. The weather has been awesome. There's quite the breeze picking up from the southwest and the clouds are racing across the sky. I don't know if something's coming tonight or this afternoon, but I feel a change in the air with the weather coming. But with luck, we'll make it to Birchcliffe Cabin tonight. We only have about 5 or 6 kilometers to go. But we have to fight our way through low water levels, high water levels with current, and most definitely alders. It could be a real hellish day or it could be a heavenly day, I don't know. I'm expecting it to be a bit of a hellish ride. But it's going to be an adventure nevertheless. And I expect maybe for the next 2 to maybe even 3 days we won't even see another person. And I'm hoping we'll see a moose. So we'll see how it goes. Thank you, Bigger Lake, and on to Birchcliffe.
Wind pushing you along?
Oh yeah. It's nice to have a tailwind like this.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah, your strategy of going to the side first is perfect. Because the wind is pushing you all the way down.
Yeah. How sweet it is. Oh yeah. It's been 12 years and 4 months since I've been here. Things change, and I think the entrance is over here on the right. Lots of alders guarding the entrance. There's the sandy spit. And there's the creek. We found it, there it is. Oh, the water's low-ish. I don't know. Well, yeah, we got out there before and stretched our legs, I believe. There's Birchcliffe. Looks deep. I got it. Nice view, eh? Down Bigger Lake. Look at that. That's stunning. I'm gonna take a photo. That is sweet. Get out here. What a beautiful day for a paddle. Oh my God. Okay, it's 10:55, so 11 o'clock we enter the creek. I'm going in the bow seat, and well, a really good canoeist would be able to paddle very well from both the front and back, but I'm a terrible bow person. Don't like being in the front, and because I've been in the back most of my life. So, but to better assist our progress through the alders, I'll be in the front, cursing and chopping at alders as required when the time comes. And Matt will be in the back chronicling our journey up the creek with our paddles. So it should be an exciting day, adventurous day for sure. So hopefully Lady Luck will be with us and we'll get through in no time. If not, we're just gonna have to work our tails off, but we will get to the cabin. I almost wanted to sit that way.
Are you gonna put me in?
Oh my God, what the hell am I doing in a bow seat?
Hey, Mark.
Huh?
Wanna put me in first?
Sorry, dude.
I was like, he's not gonna forget it. Oh, he's forgetting about it. Already forgotten.
There you go.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Holy cow, the seat's so low. You know what? We're now. This is the really nasty. Okay, I can see a hole through here. That's where we're gonna go, but there's a log here. I don't know if it'll sink if we go over it or not, but we're gonna find out real soon. Oh, no, 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 no. Oh, no. Okay, hang on, I'm gonna try and push this over. Okay, I'm good. Oh, I think this camera is Jesus Christ, is it everywhere? Okay. Jesus. All right, I can't see. Okay, you gotta go to the right, right. Six. Ow! Can you get out there?
Yep.
Okay. Okay, let me see how far it is. Maybe we can just pick up the canoe and carry it. It'll be heavy, but if it's only like 10 meters or something. Oh, it's like right here. And there's a dam. I can hear another dam up ahead too. Okay, yeah. So we just put in here. Okay. You okay? Would you get it in the nuts? Okay, you ready? 1, 2, 3. Okay. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Okay, I think we can just slide it the rest of the way. This is bad. This was not this bad 12 years ago. This is really bad.
And are we like, where are we at here? Like,
Oh, I don't know. We haven't even reached the campsite on a creek yet. There is a campsite. So I could pull out the GPS to check our location, but I don't really have a lot of faith, and I would say we're probably getting close to the campsite.
Where's the campsite?
Oh, maybe 1/8 of the way to the cabin. We have to go like probably this far on the map through alders, and we're like this far in. Yeah. What time is it now? It's 11:39. So we've been at it for 40 minutes. Oh yes, dark skies. Just to add more challenging elements to the journey of the day. Okay, well I guess we should go on.
Yeah.
Otherwise we'll be here. Oh man, I got a really nasty. I'm not bleeding, but it stings. Where's my paddle? No, that's his. Oh, here's mine right here. I'm gonna crawl into the canoe up ahead, and you're gonna get in. We're just gonna. Freaking alders, man. Okay, I'm good. Are you glad you wore your pants now? Try and work our way around this branch here. Have to go backwards a little bit if you can. It's gonna get tippy, right? Because try and keep you stable. Got it, thanks. Yeah, there's a canoe about to make landfall on my canoe. That was close. Aha! Okay, I'm gonna get in.
oh, look at them, working like a team. I got the nose up now, so So I'm gonna go down to the bottom here and see if I can see that. I'm gonna go down there and push the tail up. Oh yeah.
We're at the lone campsite on Birchcliffe Creek, so we're gonna take a break. We still got a very long way to go, but we're just gonna have a snack, a bar, and some water and keep going. But it's nice to know we can get through this. Eventually, we'll get to the cabin. Just don't know when.
This is like, somebody's like appreciative of how much work it takes to get here. So it's like, here you go. Your day just got better. Not for us though, because we're not staying here.
Well, we're about 1/10 of the way up the creek. 2 hours into it. Well, an hour and a half. Keep plugging away. But I went up the trail because there's a road here, an old logging road that crosses the creek, and the bridge has long since been removed, but there's a bridge abutments that kind of stick out a bit and force the water into a tighter current. And last time it took us like 3 or 4 tries to paddle up through it. The current was so strong, but here the water is so low, you're going to be able to paddle up to it, get out, and walk up with your canoe through it. But immediately after that, there's like 2 down trees, one after another, that we're gonna have to. You can't even pull over; it's so high out of the water. And it's just at the right height that you can't go underneath and you can't go over. You're gonna have to go around, and as soon as you get back in the water, there's another tree. This creek needs some serious maintenance, but it may not see any maintenance for another 5 or 10 years. It's a low maintenance route, so hence the lack of usage here at this campsite. Not many people come through here. This is why I said we may not see people for 2 or 3 days. Exciting? But this is not like my typical canoe trip. This is extreme. This is a special edition, if you will. When I do guided trips, I wouldn't be bringing people through here because this is beyond fun. It's hell, I think, for the typical newbie. So I think for this show, this is a bit of a treat for some people who like to paddle and get lost in Algonquin, and this is one area you could do it. But you got to be prepared for some nasty alder conditions. Well, we're getting closer to seeing moose. We found some moose bones down here at a beaver dam. An idea how big it is. Big moose bone. It's his knee bone. I guess that's his. Oh, is that teeth? A number of different scenarios could have happened. It could have been a moose calf and a bear took it down, and then the wolves came and finished it off. Or it could have been an older moose that died either by disease or old age, or maybe it was taken down by a pack. And through the process, it was torn apart by a pack of wolves, and there might be remnants of the moose carcass scattered all throughout this area. Oh, there she is, the portage. Yay! Oh, that happy golden square. We made it. Almost 5 hours, but woo! We're here at the portage. After this, it's easy peasy onto the lake and the cabin. Yes. Yeah, it's good. Silly.
It's like 20% stuck to the bottom still.
disgusting.
Maybe that's their winter lodge and they're at their summer cottage somewhere else in the marsh. Here we are, the last leg before we hit Birchcliffe Creek. There's Raven Creek right there. Aha! There she is! Birchcliffe Cabin. Woohoo! No time for pictures, eh? Oh, I didn't see that rock. Whoa! Whoa! It's a slippery rock. Okay. Haha! We made it. Alright. Hey, it's 6:15 and we've been here now for about 45 minutes. We've gotten changed out of our wet clothes and we're relaxing on beautiful Birchcliffe Lake, the Birchcliffe Cabin here. It's just stunning. Like, you come here and you know you really are in the middle of nowhere. It's not an easy lake to get to, and there are several different ways to come in here, but it's not easy. Why don't you come on in and I'll show you what this cool cabin is all about. First, you got this lovely screen door, which is a lifesaver because you can leave your inner door open and leave this one closed, and you get fresh air coming in, and it keeps the mice out. This is your common area. There's your, I don't know, kitchen eating table. This is your prep table. Wood burning stove with stove pipe, laundry line. There used to be a sink here. When I was back here 12 years ago, there was a sink here. Although this water pump wasn't in operation, apparently the line had been cut down by the water. I don't know why. It doesn't work anymore, and the sink's been nailed shut. So if you want fresh water in a cabin, you got to go all the way down to the lake and bring it all the way back up. We got a queen size bed, your bunk beds, and a fairly decent sized bed above. And in the other room, we got 2 twin size beds. So, and each has a window, and I was actually mildly surprised to come in here and find that the place smelled really clean. Didn't smell very musty at all. It was very clean inside. The floor was swept. It's a beautiful cabin and a beautiful lake. The weather's just been awesome. I expected it to rain today, and it didn't. And there's even a little bit of artwork here. There's a little placard, like in most cabins in the park, if not all of them have little placards about the history of the cabin. And it's just a fabulous place to be. This brings back memories of the time when I came here with my buddy Mike 12 years ago. It's a great place to be, and I wish we could spend another night instead of just the one night here. I encourage anyone that comes out here for like an epic Algonquin trip to try a cabin like this deep in the park. It's really worth it. And don't stay one night, stay 2 if you can, or more. It's a lovely way to spend a night in the park. Oh, there's a nice big saw here. Hey Todd, I don't know about your knife, but look at this. Look at this saw. Woohoo! Nice. Oh well, whatever. There's a nice supply of firewood here when we came in too, so that was kind of nice. I don't know if it's gonna be cold enough for us to have a fire tonight in the stove, but right out back here, there's trails all over the place. There's a, oh look, there goes a snake. Look at him, he's a good sized garter snake. Look at him. Wow. What was I saying? Yeah, there's logging roads, old logging roads back here, old trails, and there's an outhouse back here. When I was here last time along the old trail, we found old a telephone cable. with, you know, the little insulators that you would have like on the old telephone poles along the old trail. It looks pretty bushy back there, because when I was here originally, it was in the month of May, at the beginning of May, so nothing was growing in. Now it looks like a jungle back here, but this is really cool. This brings back a lot of memories. I had a really good time here. When I was here last 12 years ago, we stayed here for 7 nights. So it was a blast. I remember one day we went all the way to Gibson Lake and back in a day, just for a day trip. And it was just something to do, because you knew you could do something as adventurous as that, because in the evening you had a place to come back and stay. You didn't have to set up camp or worry about if it was raining and your sleeping bag getting flooded. So, and then another day we went up to the ruins on Raven Lake and came back in the pouring rain. So we got a nice fire going and it kept us warm. It was beautiful. So cabins are a lot of fun. This is peanut butter, really messy stuff. Coming out. Oh yeah, look at that. This is pad thai that we're making, backpackers pantry. Haha! You gonna fog up your lens? This had better be good. This is a lot of trouble. Well, this is a quick and simple dinner, but I'm cutting up the sausages for us and some cheese to give us back some protein from all the energy we used up today. Alright, so we just gotta let this sit for 15 or 20 minutes. Yeah, so that's not too bad. Set my timer. Okay, done. That's it. And it'll be served soon. Now it's on to the cheese and meats. Oh man. Too bad this place doesn't come with paper towels. Jesus.
Here's how you do this.
Okay. It's like a blender. Pad thai, and I got somebody's fork covered in goop. Todd! That didn't take long.
Thank you, sir.
Very welcome.
Chef Mark.
Pretty easy when they put it in a bag for you. What is it like? Is it edible or what?
God, this is amazing. It's like, it's got some spice to it, which I like. The nuts are crunchy. It's like, it's pad thai.
Yeah, that's not bad. Like filling. I like that.
Yep. Maple Creek?
Yeah.
That's where we're going tomorrow?
Yeah, that's the, well, we have to decide if we're going to push on, but we are supposed to stay at North Raven Lake for a night.
Okay.
But if we want to like push ahead and go on to Maple Lake, we would have to tackle Maple Creek, yeah.
The sound is scary. It sounded not good.
Well, that part of Maple Creek I haven't been to for 15 years, and I only went there through one time on a 20-day solo. I remember that very well. It was an eye opener. There, like, I was like up to my hips in water trying to get through like alders because they were so low. I couldn't get myself through in the canoe, or the canoe. I had to push the canoe under the alders, like down into the water to get through. And there were like sawn logs bobbing around from the old logging days, so kicking around. And there was mucky, and I was covered with leeches. It was really rough.
You did this by yourself?
Yeah, soloing. Yeah, I was tired. I was very thirsty. I was out of water. I mean, by the time I got to Rabla, it was like today. I couldn't work up a spit. I was so dry. I'd run out of fresh water like hours before I even got to Rabla Lake. So I was like in dire straits. But it all worked out. It was good. It was fun. Well, no, it wasn't. It was fun, but it was not fun. You know what I mean? It's not fun until you get to camp, and when you get to camp, it's like woohoo! Right? So
that's the yin and yang thing, right?
Yeah.
You can't know comfort till you know discomfort.
Exactly. You have to go through heaven to get to hell, or you have to go through hell to get to heaven. Sorry.
So today, when we were coming up,
Birchcliffe Creek.
Yes, Alder Hell.
Yeah. Oh, I know, eh?
So.
Wasn't that something?
I was thinking a lot about you soloing, and I didn't realize that you'd gone for 20 days. And just thinking about like if I was by myself, so I was imagining that scenario.
Yeah.
And it was pretty scary to think about it like that, because it's like, you know, I'm comfortable today because I know that you and Matt are ahead of me, and you know, whatever.
Yeah.
You know where we're going.
That adds a bit of security, and it's kind of nice.
Yeah. So it was like, that was like my comfort blanket. But like when I was imagining that I'm just like doing this, you know, I was also thinking about like people like settlers and people who came into this, you know,
I know,
bushwhacking and just, you know, colonizing, like all the stuff they would have had to go. I thought a lot of things today about myself.
Yeah.
But I was thinking of you soloing, and I was like, man, like it takes some balls to just come out here by yourself, and then you're facing this stuff, and you don't really know if you're going to be able to get all the way to where you're going, because like you might have to turn back, and it might be getting dark, and the weather might change.
Yeah. Sometimes you might even have to establish a campsite where there is no campsite. You got to find shelter, right? So sometimes the elements or the time or exhaustion will push you back, and that's when you have to decide, like, can I make camp here? You know, I've had to do that before. I'm sure many people have. It's just, you have to measure your abilities and just make a decision based upon the situation. Like, can I go on? Should I go on? And then the weather elements play a lot into it as well.
Okay, so I have two questions for you. One, have you ever made an entry in a book like this in this cabin? And two, have you ever been in a situation where you were so, like, actually scared, like a little bit scared for your life, like I might not make it out of the situation?
The first question, I'm not entirely sure. I don't remember. I've made entries in another cabin, the east end of the park, but I don't remember if I made it in this one. I know that the book that was here at the time is a different book than this one. I honestly don't remember. Your second question, yeah, there was one time I was on Lake Louisa. It's a big, long lake, south of Highway 60. It was in early May. It was early on in my solo tripping career, if you will. And I was in a situation in a lake where I really didn't like what was going on. There was a lot of pitch and yaw with the canoe, and basically the wind was hitting me from like maybe a 30-degree angle from behind me, and the waves are coming from another direction. So it had that rolling motion from behind, and I don't like that. It makes me very uncomfortable because I can't see or tell where the next big wave is coming from. You know, like when you're paddling a lake that's, you got like a lot of headwind and a lot of waves coming at you, like, oh, here comes a big wave, or even if it's off to a 45-degree angle, you got to turn into it. Well, this is coming from behind you, and I don't like that feeling, because you have no control over what's about to come because you can't see it coming. And on top of that, I got this like sickening motion where I'm being thrown forward and rolled around, and it just, there's a lot of uncertainty there, and I didn't like that. And there were white caps, and I was taking on a little bit of water, and I'm like, am I going to die here? Like, you know, it was beginning of May, so the water's like deadly. It's not a good time to fall into the water. I wasn't wearing a wetsuit that trip. I didn't have one at that time, so I was really concerned. And I just remember like reading, if you're a sci-fi fan, I used to read Douglas Adams books, like Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
Yes.
And the main theme was like on the big letters printed on the device. Don't panic. And I've always kept that mantra about me. It's like, if you panic, it's going to be the death of you. If you don't panic, you can be rational and think your way through any situation. So all I could really do was try and get as close to shore as I can without getting a backsplash waves to mess things up, and just paddle on grimly and just hang on and keep going and keep calm and keep very alert to what was going on about me and not panic and just keep doing it. And I made it to the end of the lake and got onto the portage, and boy, was I glad to get off that lake at that time. It really freaked me out. That was probably the only time I was ever really scared for my life in Algonquin Park. A couple times I've been up to Woodland Caribou Park up in northwestern Ontario, and never had any issues there. The paddling was much different, but it was very comfortable. I'd like to explore more wildlife, or not more wildlife, more wild wilderness type paddling in northern Ontario.
Yeah.
But Algonquin is, there's still a lot left for me to explore. I'm looking forward to it, but it's nice to come back here and visit a route like this I haven't been to in a long, long time. It's still a challenge. It's still hard to get here, right? And I think that's what makes it really special.
Yeah, absolutely. It was hard. Yeah. Don't panic.
Don't panic.
And always have a towel.
Yes, I remember that. Yeah, I carry my towel too. Yeah. Awesome.
Okay, so there's two things I found really challenging today paddling alone. So the first one was beaver dams. As you approach the beaver dam, and if you, like, I was like, if someone was in the front, they could just hop out and drag me. Like, I need to figure this out. And the other one is like those tight little S-turns.
Yeah.
You know, like you come around and you don't have anyone paddling to help you compensate. Yeah. So you end up like on the bank and you just waste a lot. Like, I was like, so much energy was on those banks,
a lot of time
just pushing
too.
off and like getting back up to speed again and get the momentum going. Oh.
What's easy though is when it's just you can grab the alders and maneuver. It's like, yeah.
You know what?
Right?
Yeah, today I was like, at one point, this was after lunch, and you guys were long gone, and we hit one of those things, and I was like swinging from the alder trees. It's like Tarzan, king of the alders. I was like fucking pull myself through.
Tarzan. That's hilarious, man.
It was like, I was literally swinging. It was actually, that was probably right before I like started like losing my energy and being like, this sucks. Okay? I hate this now. It's not fun anymore.
Yeah.
It does turn into a version of hell.
Yeah.
Just like, oh, like you come around the corner and you're like, please be just clear water. Like, no, like more sticks, more.
When you see those
obstacles.
fallen trees, it's like, and you know you can't go under and you can't go over. You got to go around. It's like, you got to haul everything up on shore, or haul the canoe up over, and it's like screeching and protest. Like, oh no, there's a new scar in the canoe, right?
And there's the little victories too when you're like, you see a log and you're like, I think I can get over that.
Yeah.
And it's like, it stops and you're like, oh, come on. Yeah.
It's the ones that we were going under. The second one that we went under, me and Matt, we went under, and so like what you do is you push the canoe forward, and then you get out and you straddle the log, and you try and push the canoe over and jump in the front. Well, I tried to get up and straddle the log, but the canoe kept sliding away from me, so I almost fell out of the canoe and into the water. And I'm like, are you moving the canoe? No, it's you. And I'm like, oh, okay, well, what's going on here? What it was is, when I was getting out of the canoe, the weight was being removed from the canoe, so it was bobbing up and hitting the log, the fallen tree.
Right.
And it was sticking. So when I tried to go forward and jump on the other side of the canoe, it wasn't there.
Right.
It was stuck. So I almost jumped into the creek. I'm like, oh, okay. So I had to like kind of push down, straddle, keep pushing down, and then push it forward and then jump back in. So it was a bit of a learning curve for me there. I'm like, oh yeah, I've done this before, not for 12 years or 10 years or 5 years, but you kind of forget because you haven't, like, I don't do a lot of creek paddling anymore, and like,
I know why.
for a reason, yeah, you know why, exactly. But yeah, I almost took a swim there, so I'm glad I didn't. And the other time was, there was an alder stabbing me in the ribs, and I'm like, I'm gonna get a punctured lung. So I was leaning over trying to get away from it, and the canoe started to tip violently, and like Matt's like, what are you doing? I'm getting stabbed in the ribs. So, oh my God, it was crazy.
Yeah.
You know, alders are hell. But, you know, look at us now. We're here. We're at the cabin tonight. We're drinking rum. We're having fun.
Yeah, yeah. Cheers to the guys who left the room behind.
Yes, thank you, boys.
Whoever you are,
Whoever you are, you're
it's
awesome.
well appreciated and now documented.
Yes, thank
Whatever
you.
that weird bottle of American rum is, it's really delicious.
Yes, awesome. Thank you. You rock. Tough
yeah.
day.
It was a hard day.
Yeah.
It was a hard day. And you know what? I had a moment of weakness. I was like losing faith. I was like, oh, I can't do this anymore. It's not, I don't care how awesome this cabin is. It's not worth it. Like, just giving up. I was totally like,
I know, it can
mentally
be discouraging,
drained.
Yeah.
And then I had like my toothache was acting up, and I was like just in a rancid mood.
Oh, yeah.
And then as soon as we got to the portage, and we came out that other side, it was like you're in a movie, and it's just this beautiful cinematic
Marsh, yeah. I remember, yeah.
Like the grass is flowing, and the water's perfectly still.
No more alders.
And it's just clear and wide,
Yeah.
so you could your canoe can turn.
Yeah, no more switchbacks, no more of this nonsense, yeah.
I saw a heron just take off in the distance.
Yeah.
Just big wings.
You did?
Flying off
Oh,
the way,
I
yeah.
didn't see that, yeah.
It was right up, it took off ahead of
Right
me.
on. Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, now it was awesome.
Yeah.
And this is that thing that I keep bringing up to you. It's like, I'm looking for a word. I'm looking for something to define that moment when you're. It's not the moment. So when you now reflect back on that, we go, yeah, cheers, man, that was awesome.
Yeah.
But in that moment, you're like, this is hell. Like this is hell.
Yeah.
I want it to end.
Yeah.
I want to find a word for that. You know what I mean? That thing that, so you can go like, let's go and do this word, whatever it might be, like climbing a mountain or you know, snowshoeing or whatever. Enter any challenge here that's going to be kind of hard, and you're not going to like it when it's happening.
Yeah.
But then afterwards, you're going to end up somewhere, and you're going to be like, yeah, that was awesome.
So you know that afterwards there's going to be the awesome.
You don't know. But don't you find that to be the case most of the time? Like, after you get through challenges, you always reflect on it in a way that's like, maybe you don't remember it as like, it was awesome, but you remember it fondly in a way like, oh, I learned a lot, or...
Yeah, well, like, this was your first time coming up the creek. This is my second. And coming up the second time was no less painful than the first, right? But when we finally got up to the lake, it was like, well, I was quite tired. I was just like, yeah. But yeah, it was very elating. It was just like, oh, this is awesome. You know, what a relief. Big relief. I think for me, the big relief was the beginning was the water levels were very navigable, especially for you because you were soloing up the creek. That was my main concern because all throughout most of the park, the water levels have been high, even through the dry season in late July into early August.
Yeah, that's right.
When there was a fire ban, the water levels have still been pretty good. So my concern was that there might be some current, but there's hardly any. You were able to get up it, no problem. But as for coming up for that word that you're talking about,
Yeah,
I know you want to find something grand, but it's just like it's almost like it's can't be put into words, right?
Well, yeah, I suppose so. But I'm a bit of a word nerd. So like, for example, I'm not that much of a word nerd because I don't remember this word that I'm gonna tell you right now. But there's a word I believe in Arabic that describes the feeling that you get when you look at a rainbow. Okay, so we might say like euphoria, but that doesn't. It's not so specific to the feeling you get when you look at a rainbow. Let's say. There's the word sin. I just learned the word sin is actually derivative of something Greek, which is like I forget the actual Greek word that it comes from, but the sin isn't in it. But it means to miss the mark. It's a reference to archery.
Okay.
Right. So to sin is to miss the bullseye, and then it became a religious term. But it's kind of interesting how it works. You know what I mean? Yeah. You sinned, like you missed the mark.
Yeah.
So, anyways, I think about words in that way. And I would like to either find a word in any language that defines that thing that we went through today, which can be put into any context, or make one up if there isn't one. I'm pretty sure there isn't an English word for this. I've reached out to a number of people, smart people who know with high vocabularies who I would think would come up with this, but.
Alder rum. Went through Alder Hell and we got rewarded with rum.
Alder rum. Cheers. Alder rum. That's the word from now on.
I don't know. I can't think of anything else.
No, I like it. Jeez. Alder rum. You want to go and have some alder rum tomorrow?
Oh God. Yeah, sure. Why not? Let's do it.
All right.
You live, right? So I mean, come on. I don't want to. What time are we getting up tomorrow? That's what I'm concerned about.
Well, we want to leave at 7. We want to leave at 7, but it's going to be 7:30 because we're going to do that extra little thing, and we won't. So all we need to do is boil some water.
Or have some oatmeal and go. Yeah. And
then pack up. So how long does it take us? It probably takes us an hour.
Yeah.
So if we need at least, like, how many coffees do you need before we?
Oh, 2. Yeah. Always 2. Tomorrow's not a 3 coffee day; it's a 2 coffee day.
But never one.
And I've had 1 coffee days, and yeah, believe me, that was like because it was raining and I had to go.
Okay, so
those suck.
So the 2 coffees and packing up to leave, we need. I mean, an hour and a half.
Oh yeah, now you're stretching it.
Well,
would you like me to put rum in your coffee too and stretch it into 2 hours?
Maybe some Baileys.
Yeah, I got Baileys for you. Absolutely. Oh man, this has been such a fantastic day.